invalidation of a report by the in-house inquiry panel that had found him guilty in the cash at home row. A bench of Justices Dipankar Datta and A.G. Masi also upheld the procedure adopted by the panel and the then CJI, calling it legal and constitutional. Justice Varma's legal team questioned the procedure. In stern remarks, the top court said that Justice Varma's conduct does not inspire confidence and his plea should not be entertained. Earlier, Justice Varma had contested the in-house procedure, calling it unfair. He also stated that he was unaware of the cash deposit as well as removal from his house. The CCTV footage was not produced or examined, and that the findings are factually incorrect and perverse. So let's tell you about the key remarks by the Supreme Court today. 6 pointed observations that the top court made in this matter. As far as the legal procedure is concerned, the court said in-house process not a parallel mechanism. On the issue of maintainability, writ petition under in-house mechanism not maintainable. On the issue of violation of rights, the court said no violation of fundamental rights. On the issue of compliance, court said CJI and inquiry committee followed the process. On the issue of communication to executive, the court observed sending report to President, Prime Minister, not unconstitutional. On the issue of liberty for future, Justice Varma may raise grievances. That's what the court said. So these are the key observations of the court. Top court's remarks on your screens. CJI in-house panel followed the process. Decks have been cleared for impeachment, and this comes as a massive blow to Justice Yashwant Varma, who had challenged the in-house procedure, and that in fact has been clarified by the Supreme Court that due process was followed. There's no violation of fundamental rights. Let me go across to my legal editor, Harish Nair, joining us on the broadcast with more details. This definitely comes as a massive blow to Justice Yashwant Varma. The key observations are a huge setback to him, in which the court has made it clear that the process was followed, and as far as rights are concerned, there's no violation of fundamental rights. Harish, can you hear me?
Yes, that's right, Swati. In fact, big blow for Justice Yashwant Varma. This judgment basically means that decks have been now cleared for the for beginning the impeachment proceedings against him. Now, a committee under the Inquiry Act has to be set up, comprising of a judge of the Supreme Court, a Chief Justice of a High Court, and the eminent jurist. The Supreme Court very clearly is saying that the then Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna had scrupulously followed the in-house procedure, and the only avoidable thing was he should not have uploaded the videos and photos. But Swati, the judgment says nothing turns on that, and rejected his challenge as far as the validity of the in-house procedure is concerned, and also said that his petition is not maintainable, and asked why he did not approach the Supreme Court at appropriate time, why he took part in the in-house procedure, why did he become a part of the questioning, and he should have acted in time. So Supreme Court has basically dismissed his petition, challenging the validity of the in-house procedure, and also May 8th recommendation of then Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna, who had sent a communication along with attaching the report to the President and the Prime Minister, asking them to initiate the removal process in the Parliament. So a very crucial judgment at a time when the impeachment proceedings against Justice Yashwant Varma is set to be initiated in the ongoing monsoon session, which will be going on till 21st. We'll have to wait and watch whether this impeachment motion, that is removal motion, will be taken up in the remaining days of the monsoon session. Back to you.
All right, Harish, stay on with us. Let's also listen to the reaction that we're getting from senior advocate Nalin Kohli, who has agreed with the Supreme Court's judgment.
The judgment by the Honorable Supreme Court by Justice Dipankar Datta and Justice George Masi is on expected lines. After all, Justice Varma, the situation at his house required an explanation. How could there be such large sums of unaccounted cash within the perimeters of his own residence? And he did not present himself himself before the inquiry panel, which was set up by the then Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna. And the then Chief Justice, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, as the judgment now also says, followed in letter and spirit what is the procedure to be followed when such an allegation comes against a sitting judge. And when Parliament resumes working, I'm sure this would be one of the issues that the Parliament would consider at some point of time.
Let's go back to Harish, who continues to be with us. So while the Supreme Court has observed that there's no violation of fundamental rights and that due process was followed, sending recommendations to the President and the Prime Minister are not unconstitutional, but the court has also said that Justice Varma may raise grievances on the issue of liberty for future.
Yes, that's why Swati, Justice Dipankar Datta, who headed the bench, has said that he is not going into the merits of the case because Supreme Court at this juncture does not want to comment on the merits because it should not prejudice the future proceedings. That is, Supreme Court referred to the future proceedings, the proceedings which will happen before the Parliament formed the committee under the Judges Inquiry Act, and also the impeachment motion which will be taken up in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. But Supreme Court very clearly says that the in-house committee's report has only a recommendatory value, and it is not binding on the Parliament or its MPs or on the Judicial Inquiry Committee. Therefore, there is no point challenging the validity of the in-house report, and Supreme Court very clearly saying that Justice Yashwant Varma's conduct is not proper, and his conduct does not inspire confidence because he had several opportunities even before the in-house committee probe and also during it, and he did not take legal recourse at appropriate time.
Yes.
And now there is no point rushing to Supreme Court after the in-house committee has submitted its report, and the then Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna has sent its report to the President and the Prime Minister.
All right, Harish, thank you very much for putting things into perspective, for getting us the inputs. Let's also take our viewers through the timeline of how this entire scandal unfolded. Since 14th March this year, this cash at home scandal has rocked the judiciary as well as the entire country. Days later, on 22nd of March, the then CJI constituted an in-house panel which confirmed the presence of unaccounted cash on the 7th of May. The next day, the CJI submitted a report to the Prime Minister and the President seeking removal of Justice Varma. And on the 4th of June, the impeachment process was initiated. In July, Justice Varma moved top court against the in-house probe findings and contested the procedure that was followed. With that, we're slipping into a very short break. We have a lot more lined up for you on the other side. Stay on with us.